Even though they call humans the crown of the creation, the most powerful of all beings, they still are weak. So sometimes they give in to other bad beings. Yes. And then we call these humans like possessed or enchanted, or they become lost to the devils, or maybe they sold themselves to the devils. Yes. And now, first, if you have a false master, it's not like, okay, you don't worry about it. You should, because that false master, sometimes she is a demon and she doesn't have any soul. And then they might use your soul to do bad stuff. And slowly, you give in, and then you weak and you die, and they take over the whole soul, and you lost forever. And while you're still living, they will use you to do all kinds of things that are very bad for you and create very bad affinity, bad karma for you against your will. So be careful whom you follow, eh? I have told this for many years, sometimes told different things, including these things. And also recently concerning, that Rumachi, Tangtam, San John, whatever, yes, using people to do bad stuff and create havoc for the country where they reside. Yeah, I'm sorry for Vietnam sometimes, but it's getting better now because we try, to clear the dark cloud over the country. So it's probably having less and less trouble. But the thing is, actually, heavens and benevolent beings are trying hard to protect you humans. And then also bless humans and others a lot. And I could have won earlier, easier, but I don't have much help from the humans. That is the thing. If they truly help, indirectly, like become benevolent, don't kill others, don't kill animals, people, don't damage the environment, we could have won long ago already. And I could probably have gone home already and taken a rest and enjoy my life. Yeah, nevertheless, we try until the last minute. In Vietnam, we say còn nước, còn tác, meaning even if there's a little water left in the pond, you still continue to extract it and put it in your field. In Vietnam, many areas still use the old traditional way of planting rice, for example, yeah? And in their field, they would have dug a pond, a small pond in the corner, and the water is so clear, so clean, oh, beautiful, and so cool. Sometimes we went there, we go inside and take a bath when I was a kid. And there would be two farmers, either man or woman. They have some instrument like a bucket, but made by, nowadays maybe plastic. I don't know, but in my time they used just bamboo to make a basket, and then they just scoop the water from that pond and just put it into their rice field and just do it manually like that. So a bowl of rice costs a lot of labor work. Now I'm grown up, I appreciate things more from the farmers. When I was young, I just didn't think too much, didn't feel grateful or anything. Nowadays, even if I drop one or two grains of cooked rice on the floor, I feel sorry because I treasure what I eat, especially in some difficult situations. Cooking is more difficult than usual, more difficult than when you have a room, or an apartment like before. Yes. I also live sometimes in a more frugal situation, like in the Himalayas. Sometimes in the Himalayas, in very high mountains, even if you cook with some wood, it doesn't boil very fast. Sometimes not at all, just warm up because it's too cold. So when people go to such a high Himalayan mountain, they must have very big log of wood, to live on all day. Or they have to have a strong, powerful gas stove because there's no electricity up there. And they use a snow, clean snow area to cook in a pot. Otherwise, you can't have food up there. Just eat raw. Sometimes I had to eat raw. So I was very happy. I was happy. And I am grateful to God's grace and all the masters to make all that happen, that we have victory. And I'm thankful to all the gods and goddesses and all the deities, all the heavenly armies, and His Majesty, King of Karma, His Majesty, the King of Security, for example, etc. They were very helpful. So when I say I have a victory, it doesn't mean I alone did it, but we are all together as one entity. So I could say that because they're one with me, like one hand together. Yes. And I also forgot to tell you other things. After we defeated and destroyed the fighting world, so much cheering came to my attention. And they say, love from your loving world, love from your loving world, love from your loving world. They say that to me. Of course, we have to thank God Almighty and all the gods and goddesses and kings in heavens and earth, okay? But I never thought they would say, your loving word, meaning their loving word becomes my word. Actually, this world has been created, long, zillion years ago, before humans came into being. And even though they have more entities, more population than the fighting world, they are not made to fight, so they didn't know how. You see, they have very powerful vibes. I have created them to put in this world, to keep this world powerful, in harmony and peace. But slowly, humans also came from other dimensions. And then they slowly became coarser and coarser in their manner and being, became more and more physical. And with the physical bodies, the brain, the environment, came the necessity to live in a physical domain, which they are not used to. Originally, they were not physically solid like what the humans are right now. They could fly anywhere. They didn't have to eat anything. They were always happy together. Until slowly, the atmosphere of the environment affected them. And then they saw things growing around the planet. They ate them, and they became coarser and coarser. And so they became the so beautiful humans that we are seeing right now. When we see a beautiful girl, a handsome man, we say, oh, they're beautiful. But they're nothing compared to how they look like before. All right, those are sad things, but never mind. They can become divine again, because inside them there is a wonderful instrument that will help to bring them back home, to the heavenly home where they came from. But because it's been such a long time and they are so submerged into this kind of coarse vibration, they couldn't find their way home. They couldn't remember where God had bestowed upon them a kind of divine instrument so that they can use that to go home. So at the time of initiation, I have helped you to open it again. Now you know. Right. Since zillions and zillions of cowboys, with my energy, peace energy, they are created with God's grace and God's permission and God's love, of course, to bless this world, before humans existed. Because we all know that sooner or later humans will change their quality inside and outside, and they will become different, and they could not help themselves. So the more peaceful it is for them, the better for them in this world. But then they created their own energy, not as peaceful as when they first came. And then slowly it became more intolerable for them, also with the force of Satan, the fallen angels, or we call them demons, devils, and then it became worse and worse for humans. And they could not bear it, so they called for help, they prayed, So God has sent masters to this world again, and again to save the souls that want to go back home, that are desperately in need of salvation.